Nightmare on Elm Street 2: Freddy's Revenge is the 1985 sequel to Wes Craven's iconic horror film A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's directed by Jack Shoulder, and this second installment deviates from the normal formula established by the original, and it introduces a new set of characters dealing with Freddy Krueger. And this crazy movie is one of the most hated in the franchise for utterly no reason. A lot of people will randomly just call it gay and just go, heh, I'm not going to watch that. I think that's really just adding to the film's charm, though. I think it's a great film, so... yeah, the story focuses around a young teenage boy named Jesse Walsh who becomes Freddy's target in a different, more psychological and body-swapping way. So, let's get into the video. The film opens with a sequence of a disturbing, very just empty school bus. Oh, I'm joking. This includes Jesse Walsh, played by Mark Patton, who is just, your typical teenage boy, and he's just sat there, minding his own business, when they suddenly drive into the bloody desert, and then they're just stuck on top of this, big stick, not stick, big giant rock, I don't know how to describe it. And then the bus driver turns out to be Freddy. And Freddy then begins to kill a lot of the students, and then Jesse wakes up in a panic, doing his wonderful scream, which always made me laugh this entire movie. So yeah, Jesse Walsh recently moved into a new home with his family. And unbeknownst to him, the house they moved into was once owned by Nancy Thompson's family, the protagonist of the first film who previously battled Freddy. And Jesse struggles with adapting to his new environment and is troubled by strange and violent nightmares that become increasingly weird. So the main characters, of course, are Jesse, our favourite character, who has some of the best screams I've heard in a very long time. Every time he screams, I would start dying. Anyway, there's also Lisa, who's Jesse's classmate and love interest in the movie. Grady, who is Jesse's friend and also bully at the beginning. And Mr. and Mrs. Walsh, who are Jesse's parents, who basically do nothing in the movie. But yeah, Freddy Krueger's approach in this film is different from the first installment. Instead of attacking him directly in his dreams, he begins to manipulate his mind and tries to possess his body. Which he does do. And, he basically wants to use him as pretty much just a host to kill in the real world, and as Jesse's nightmares become more intense, he begins to experience more terrifying moments where Freddy begins to, physically manifest inside of him. And he even finds Freddy's glove in the basement, suggesting that Freddy is using his house. Which, kind of makes sense. Freddy did die there the second time. Not the first time, the second time. And Jesse's behaviour becomes just more aggressive and, erratic as he goes on. He becomes, more influenced by Freddy, and he begins to lose control of pretty much everything except his wonderful scream. I'm going to play it again now. Wonderful. And I'm sorry, I just have to keep talking. It's just really funny, alright? Yeah, Freddy's influence over Jesse soon leads to real-world murders, and in one of the film's best sequences, fully possessed by Freddy, he sneaks into his gym teacher's office at the school, and now under Freddy's control, brutally attacks and kills the coach in the showers before just sort of leaving him there, and then leaving Jesse's body, and then Jesse just wakes up covered in blood, what the hell is going on? But yeah, then we get my favourite part of the movie, the pool party, or as I like to call it, PPM, Pool Party Massacre, TCM, Texas or whatever. Yeah, so this film ends at a amazing little pool party hosted by Lisa, and despite Jesse's fears, she tries to comfort him, However, as the party goes on, Freddy's control over Jesse reaches its peak, and Freddy takes full control over his body. and he emerges from within him in a gruesome transformation. And now in the real world, Freddy begins attacking the partygoers, resulting in a bloody massacre at the pool. And the chaotic scene shows Freddy doing his thing, he's happy, he's doing his jazz. I don't know why I said jazz there, just whatever. He's just killing a bunch of people. There are some kills in this scene which I find kind of dumb, like he just sort of throws a guy at a grill, but besides from that, the rest are pretty cool. And yeah, ultimately, Lisa follows Freddy into an abandoned power plant where Freddy used to work, and she pretty much just, like, confronts Freddy, who is now completely in control of Jesse, and Jesse somehow gets out of Freddy, and he, like, fights back against Freddy inside of his own body, and then he takes over his body again. But, similar to the first film, I don't really like the ending of this one. The film ends with pretty much the same ending, but, like, sort of different. Like, it's just basically the beginning of this film with a smidgen of the ending of the last film. So, they're on the bus, but the bus driver just drives away, and then Freddy's cold glove bursts through someone's chest, and then the bus goes into the desert again. That's pretty much just the ending of the film. And yeah, Freddy's Revenge is definitely just a film that takes a bold step away from the first movie. It isn't as, like, scary as the original, but it's still serious. And serious enough to the point where it ain't like the others where they just get so stupid and just really crap. I'm only 6 minutes into this recording, so I'm not going to swear yet. But, like, it's just really, different, which I do enjoy. I know, as I said at the beginning, a lot of people hate this film for some reason. I enjoy it. I don't really get the hate. Like, what's the point? Like, sure, his screams are a bit stupid, but they're funny. Okay? What about that? And yeah, I think one of the, like, best aspects of this film is just the fact that we got, like, one of our first Scream Kings, who is, of course, Jesse, and he plays a crucial role in, of course, defeating Freddy Krueger, and also basically becoming Freddy Krueger. Robert Englund, speaking of Freddy Krueger, once again shines as Freddy Krueger. He is just, Freddy Krueger. There's no one else who I think could play him as well as, Robert Englund. Jackie Early tried, okay, I'm always going to give that to him, but his script sucked. And I do think that this Freddy is once again still scary. Like, he isn't, I'm not just saying, like, oh, bloody horrified when I watch this film, but, like, he isn't cracking jokes every 5 seconds. Like, he ain't gonna, like, pull a person into a video game and just go, "Game over, bitch," or something like that. Like, it ain't just, like, your typical, like, nightmare fare where it's like the last few movies. However, this one definitely leads to, like, some of the film's main criticisms. A lot of people don't like how it's not just, like, in a dream, which I do kind of agree with. It is a nightmare on Elm Street, not real life on Elm Street. I'm sure real life is scary enough, guys, you're already ruining the dreams. And the special effects in this film, though, I think they are some of my favourite. You got some great practical effects, especially when Freddy is possessing Jesse, and also with the pool party when they're transforming. The gore is pretty good, and it's got a little bit of body horror in there, which I do enjoy. And there are some pacing issues, though. Like, the middle portion of the film sort of drags out, as, it's just sort of, like, psychological stuff. But then we get some good kills, and that kind of saves it for me. Ultimately, I think this is a divisive film, but sort of fascinating at the same time, because a lot of people just don't like it, but I seem to like it for some reason. What can I say? I'm quite stupid. If this film does suck, you can let me know in the comments. I don't really care. But I do think it's pretty good. It takes risks, which, is good. I want a film to take risks, but not just, like, take too many. I don't think this does take too many. I think it takes just the right amount of risks. And, though it does trade, like, Dream for more, like, psychological and also real-life approach, I know a lot of people don't like this movie, but I thought it is still pretty good. I give it like a 7.5 out of 10. But what do you guys think about Freddy's Revenge? Let me know in the comments below if you have seen the film. If you haven't seen the film, go watch it. You know, if you're gonna binge all the Nightmare films, you have to include this one, and you sadly have to include the 2010 one. But that's pretty much it for this video. What do you guys think about this? As I said, let me know in the comments. And until next time, subscribe to the channel, or I don't know, Freddy's gonna possess you.